Hi, I'm Sophie and welcome to my first reading vlog. Halloween is my favorite holiday. I love spooky season and I'm always a little bit sad when October is over. Luckily for me, Gabby Reads hosts readathons to help us bring the spirit of Halloween into other parts of the year. She hosts Summerween in August, and now it's time for Winterween. It's only a week-long readathon, and it's a readathon meant to focus on horror and thriller books. I love horror, it's one of my favorite genres. I don't know how much I will be able to read, maybe it will be just one book, but I thought it was a great way to try out a reading vlog. So let's go over the prompts. So there's a bingo board. And it's a little bit of a mix of reading prompts and non-reading prompts, which I always think is a lot of fun. So we have read a book in the dark, which is very easy to do. It's January, it's almost always dark, so I can really pick up any book to fulfill that prompt. Read a horror or thriller book. Read a book with red on the cover. Read a book with vampires, and read a 2025 release. Those are the book prompts. Then we have watch a scary movie. I'm not sure if I will be able to do that this week because the movie I really want to watch is People We Made on Vacation, which came out today. Bake a fall snack. Not going to do that. But then listen to a Halloween playlist. That's an easy one. I think I will do that one. And then join the Winterween reading prompts, which I will be doing this evening. So the book I've chosen to read fulfills every reading prompt except for the vampires. So that's The Lamb by Lucy Rose. It's a horror book. It has red on the cover, so the red is here and here. The spine is also red. And it's a 2025 release. I don't think I will be able to explain this book very well, so I'm just going to read the back to you because the back makes me extremely excited about this book. Margot and Mama live by the forest. When Margot is not at school, they spend quiet days together in their cottage, waiting for strangers to knock on their door. Strays, Mama calls them. Mama loves the strays. She feeds them wine, keeps them warm. Then she satisfies her burning appetite by picking apart their bodies. But when a stray called Eden turns up in the heart of a snowstorm, little Margot must confront the shifting dynamics of her family, untangle her own desires, and make a bid for freedom. In this tender coming-of-age tale, Rose explores how women swallow their anger, desire, and animal instincts, and wrings the mother-daughter relationship until blood drips from it. That sounds amazing. And the fact that it takes place in a snowstorm, even better for January, so I'm really excited to start reading this one. I've read the first 70 pages of The Lamb. This book starts off unhinged. Like the first chapter immediately is very weird. So it starts with our main character Margot on her 4th birthday. She sits in the shower and she's plucking severed fingers from the drain. And then she's eating the mold from the wall. So like that's already like very out there. I was like, okay, what's going on? I live in this little cottage and her mother picks up strays, or that's what she calls them, from the road when people are lost in the woods, and she kills them and eats them, kind of reminding me a little bit of Hansel and Gretel, but in a more horrifying way. Obviously, the original fairy tale is also horrifying, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this. I'm not really sure yet how I feel about this book, because it's weird, and I love me some weird books, but I'm not sure yet if this is my kind of weird, which is surprising because I love books about cannibalism. The last chapter I read ended with a kind of like plot twist reveal that was interesting, and I was like, oh, okay, that's good, because I had the feeling it was a little bit meandering. And we have this stray that had turned up in a snowstorm, Eden, and I don't know, her relationship with the mother, it's a bit weird. I'm probably not making a lot of sense because I don't know how I feel about the book. So this week has not gone as planned. Winterween ended on Thursday and it's now Saturday and I'm still reading The Lamb. Okay, I made it pretty far into it and I'm hoping that I can finish it today. We'll see. It will only be a one book vlog. I do have to say it's not that I've only been reading this book. I'm filming another vlog and I finished a book for that one in the beginning of the week. And I'm also listening to an audiobook. Just on Wednesday and Thursday there hasn't been a lot of time for physical reading. So yeah, The Lamb kind of took a backseat. I'm now on page 250. So I have less than 100 pages left. And I do have to say, I'm still not quite sure how I feel about this book. It's not that I don't like it. I think the last part might get interesting. We're obviously getting to the climax of the book. So the stray Eden. She's an interesting character, but I also don't really understand her motivations. So that's something that's bothering me a little bit. I have to say, what I do appreciate in this book is that we're following the perspective of a child who has grown up with cannibalism. So to her, it's quite normal. So we get descriptions of the cannibalism and of the killing and stuff like that. And it's written in a way that's not very gruesome because the child is used to it. I thought that's done quite well in this one, that we follow a perspective that's just how life is for her. Margot, the main character, is obviously queer, and I do like her relationship with Abby, a classmate. Yeah, I think that's it for my update, and I will probably see you when I finish this, because there's not a lot left, and I hope that will be today. Success! It's still Saturday and I finished The Lamb. This was a hard one to rate. I was thinking, is it a 3-star? Is it a 3.5? I settled on a 3.5 stars for this one, but it's that kind of book where I don't have a ton of thoughts about it or feelings about it. It was okay. There's nothing really wrong with it, but I felt like I couldn't quite connect to the story. So I am a little bit disappointed because I was really excited about this book because it sounded right up my alley. I thought that the last 100 pages were good and interesting, but then the last few chapters had a little bit of a disconnect for me. They were okay, and I understood why the author decided to tell the story that way and end it that way. But it had an aspect in it that I don't really like in books, that I can't tell you about because it's a massive spoiler. What I did like about this book is the atmosphere. I thought the little cottage in the woods and the small town surrounding it, that was really depicted well, and I liked reading about it. I thought that some of the themes that this book explores were interesting. So like the mother-daughter relationship is a central part of this book. is a bit of a coming of age tale. It's about women suppressing their anger and their feelings and what that can do to a person. So all those things were interesting to read about, and obviously the cannibalism is a metaphor. I don't know, it didn't quite hit a spot for me because it is a rather slow book. And normally I do like slow-paced books, but I do have to be really invested in the characters for a slow-paced book to be a favorite. And although I did like Margot as a character, I wasn't very attached to her. So I felt a little bit of distance to the character and the book and what was happening. And I think that's the reason why this didn't quite work for me. So slower parts in the book that I found a little bit boring, that have more to do with the coming of age story that this is. And I can really enjoy coming of age stories, but like I said again, I have to be really invested in the character. So I think that was the main problem of this book. Yeah. The Lamb by Lucy Rose, 3.5 stars. And that means it's the end of my first vlog, the end of Winterween. I hope you enjoyed this. It was a little bit of an experiment for me to try out vlogging. I'm currently filming another one, so we'll see how that goes. If you like this and you want to see more bookish content from me, make sure to hit the subscribe button so I can see you in my next bookish adventure.